It was the early morning hours of November 13, 1974, in the quiet, affluent community of Amityville, Long Island, New York. The DeFeo family home sat peacefully at 112 Ocean Avenue, a large Dutch colonial house that looked like the perfect American dream. But inside, something unimaginable was about to happen. At around 3:15 a.m., 23-year-old Ronald Butch DeFeo Jr. grabbed a .35 caliber Marlin rifle. Over the next few minutes, he went room to room, methodically shooting his entire family as they slept. His parents, Ronald Sr. and Louise DeFeo, and his 4 younger siblings, Dawn, Allison, Mark, and John Matthew, were all killed in their beds. None of them even appeared to fight back or flee. Neighbors later told police they hadn't heard any screams, only the muffled sound of gunshots. This detail would puzzle investigators for years. How could 6 people be murdered in one house in the middle of the night without anyone trying to escape? After the massacre, Butch showered, changed his clothes, and went to work at the local car dealership as if nothing had happened. That evening, he ran into a nearby bar, appearing frantic. He shouted, "You gotta help me! I think my mom and dad are shot!" Several men rushed with him back to the house. When they entered, they were met with a horrifying scene. The lifeless bodies of the DeFeo family lying face down in their beds. The police were called immediately. When authorities arrived, they initially believed it could have been a mob hit or a break-in gone wrong. But suspicion quickly turned toward Butch himself. His story kept changing, and there were no signs of forced entry. After hours of interrogation, he finally confessed, saying, "Once I started, I just couldn't stop. It went so fast." Butch later claimed that voices in the house drove him to kill, that he heard whispers urging him to commit the murders. Whether this was the truth or an attempt to build an insanity defense has never been fully proven. The trial gripped the nation. The prosecution argued that Butch was a cold-blooded killer motivated by anger and money, as he stood to inherit his father's life insurance policy. The defense claimed he was insane and influenced by dark forces beyond his control. In November 1975, exactly 1 year after the murders, Butch DeFeo was found guilty of 6 counts of second-degree murder. He was sentenced to 6 consecutive life sentences and would spend the rest of his life behind bars. But the story didn't end there. Just over a month after the conviction, a new family moved into the house, George and Kathy Lutz, along with Kathy's 3 children. They were aware of the murders but believed they could build a happy life there. Almost immediately, they reported terrifying experiences: strange cold spots, foul smells with no source, mysterious green slime oozing from the walls, objects moving on their own. George claimed he would wake up at exactly 3:15 a.m. every night, the same time Butch began his killing spree. The Lutzes lasted only 28 days before fleeing the house, leaving everything behind. They later recounted their experiences in interviews, books, and eventually the famous 1979 film The Amityville Horror. Their story turned the house into one of the most infamous haunted locations in the world. Skeptics have since questioned the Lutzes' claims, suggesting financial motives or exaggeration. Some investigators believed the so-called haunting was fabricated to sell books and movies. Others insist something truly evil resides in that house, pointing to the brutal murders and unexplained details, like why none of the DeFeos seemed to move or scream during the attack. To this day, the true nature of what happened inside 112 Ocean Avenue remains a mystery. Was it simply a case of a troubled young man snapping and murdering his family? Or was there a darker force at work, one that still lingers within those walls? The house has since changed owners several times, and its address was eventually altered to discourage tourists and thrill seekers. Yet its legacy lives on in books, documentaries, and countless retellings. The Amityville case is more than just a ghost story. At its core, it's about a real family whose lives were violently taken one cold November night. Behind the legends and the Hollywood movies, there are 6 innocent victims whose voices were silenced forever. And perhaps that's the most haunting part of all.